World of YouTube. Terrible sight here. I wanted to bring forth again one of the very first cases I did and started on YouTube. Started on YouTube. And this is, of course, the case of Taj Narbonne. And this kid, when I first saw this back in 1982 on the milk carton, it was one of them pictures you see and you're like, ooh. So I came across that kid somewhere, and back in 2011, it sparked my mind again because 2012, one of the two, I was looking for some newspapers because at the time we had a pug, Sammy Pug, and I had that dog trained to go on newspapers because he accidentally got hurt by a bigger dog we used to have. Go figure, Nikita. They were playing one day and she kind of bit his leg and we had to have it, fixed. Cost a lot of goddamn money. But, unfortunately that happened. And, we, got it fixed and everything, but, I had to train him to use the bathroom again, and he wasn't able to, go outside as much as he wanted to. Really sucked. But, I trained him to use the newspapers and stuff, and I put it on top of say-so. Damn it, excuse me. Didn't have my morning coffee yet. But I had to put it under some kind of plastic thing, put paper on it and use it. So when I was searching through some papers one day when I was living in my old place on Devlin Passway, because I ended up moving back into that place, this article literally came up, and it stands the hair on the back of my neck because, like, back in 1982, knowing I came across that kid somewhere, it was in my honor to him to just start up a series of videos, and I did. Like I said, it was one of my first cases I dived into to do recording and bring you to the actual sites. But, damn it. Excuse me again. But I figured I'd do a video today on him because it's been so long, and I was hoping that the guy that was on it, Detective Abishon, he is now retired, but he's as a police officer, but I guess he's training new cadets, say so, into the detective world. He's doing that. I guess I believe he said he was at Mount Wachusett Community College. And I was hoping he was gonna one day do that search that he said he wanted to do it, like with cadaver dogs. And something just recently, well, not recently, but it's been crossed my mind. It's probably been a while now, but I was messing around with a belt buckle, putting it on my belt. Just bought me I bought me at the time a Indian head, Native American head. And it dawned on me as like kids back in the day, like me and him, born in the 70s, early 70s. I mean, it was a thing to have a belt back then, It still is now, but the kids back then, it was a big thing. And what it dawned on me is I wonder if this kid had a belt on when he left, or supposedly left the house. supposedly left the house. That's what the note said from the stepfather and the mother. But what caught my eye when I first, dodged into this, and it's just bringing up his face here to show everybody who he is. I gotta look into that right there that says psychic sees boy living in region. Oh man, and I cannot name somebody that I talked to. But, and believe me, someone that knows this case very well. And I gotta get back to talking to that person, but a psychic medium talked to this person and told her that that is a she, but I ain't saying no more than that. That she sees Taj distressed and standing near a farm fence. So, a goddamn chipmunk. It just wandered right on by us. Without a care in the world. But she said she seen him standing distressed near a farm fence. Excuse me again. And lo and behold, people, tell no lies, that this farm fence, I believe, now this is just me saying it. This ain't no proof, this ain't recorded in the documents with the police. But this farm fence, and mind you, where Detective Abashan thinks Taj is not even a stone throw, skip away from, not even a quarter of a mile away from the house also. There's two distinctive places. He thinks of one and I think of the other. Where this farm fence is, the farm fence is near where I say Taj was led off to his demise. But don't get me wrong, I'm not going against anything that, Detective Arbachon says, but I think these two places, just not his, should be searched. And I was hoping, and I would have volunteered my time for this, and I was hoping that he would do that search. I don't know if he'll do it, being in his new profession. But I hope one day he contacts me and says he's doing it, because I want to do this. I mean, I might do my own little searching, but it's better when you got, of course, the cadaver dogs, let alone a force of people. But that belt buckle, and whether or not Taj wore one, and I believed he was buried throughout the region of where he lived. And this psychic, I'd never seen this picture before. But not only that picture and that newspaper report, someone else had the psychic say something like I said to a certain person, and boom, now it's showing this. So I'm glad I just dug this up to keep it fresh. Because like I said, man, I came across this kid when I was a kid before 1982, of when I saw that milk carton, and that's why I was like, wow. But then again, also, and now it's really standing on the back of my neck. I'm about to wonder, now that I think of it, I lived up the street not too far from where this fence is. I lived on Union Street in Leominster, Mass. And he lived on a street right off of Union. And I want to say not even a minute drive from where I lived on Union Street. I go by that house every day, and I go by his house every day, and I look. And I look in that area. And I used to look at it when I drove to school to Fallbrook on the bus. And always, for some reason, when I drove on the bus, I sat on the left side and I look out that window at that fence in that wooded area, which is now like a walking trail. Damn it. And it's, it's a little circle trail. Take you about, I'd say about that. Maybe 20 minutes to walk around the whole thing. 15, 20 minutes. And but it is a big wooded area. And the timeline that Taj's stepfather would have had to bury him pre-dig the hole. Either way, if it went down, Detective Arbachon's way, or if it goes my way, that man had plenty of time in the timeline that Taj's mother fell asleep like a fool. And, let the man do what he did to her poor son. But what I was going to say, man, is I'm about to wonder also if this ghost thing that I have that attracts me, I'm about to wonder if he was attracting me while driving on that bus and saw me looking too. Not only did I know I kind of ran through him, but ran into him, I bet you he ran through me as a ghost also. And I'm just thinking, it never dawned on me either. Never dawned on me to even think of that happened. So, with that being said, it's like, wow. Sometimes things just mind blow me away coming up later on down the line. I ain't never said this in any other video, so damn it, excuse me. Throat is dry. But I got a damn metal detector, boys and girls. And like I said, I want to get out there. I want to see if I can just wander around, and check out some areas throughout that park. And like I said, it would be better if I had a bunch of other people, but because it is a big wooded area. And someone said that I don't know if this person was a psychic, but they never got back to me either, and it pisses me off. But someone had mentioned from another state, is there like a river or a brook? And almost definitely, hell yes, there is a brook that runs a waterway. I don't know if it's the Manusnock, if I'm saying that, because there's a Manusnock that used to be in Fitchburg that I lived by, and Manusnock. So Manusnock and Manusnock, you can't get them confused, but Manusnock runs through the city of Leominster and up by Fall Brook, I believe, or connects into it some way, and that also could be Fall Brook too. So with that being said, and someone saying a friggin' from, a distance away in another state, and I don't think they, knew the area, but they asked me about that comment, and I was trying to get a hold of them back. I said, yes, there is something, what do you see? And never got back to me. So I don't know if that was just a hint or a lead, or, they couldn't mention anything, because they didn't really know nothing, but that's my ticket to that search. Right up along that brook that, mind you, runs near that damn farm fence. So there's two things that need to be looked at. And start point to get that metal detector going, or anybody going in that search. And that other place is on Christine Street in Leominster. And it's like a friggin' L if you were to look to it on the map. Because you got the beginning of my place at the end of his street that begins where I think, Clarence Dean, the piece of crap, dragged his body or whatnot. God damn it. And, did what he did. So I think he pre-dug the hole, buried him, And that timeline, if anybody reads the article, check it out. I think it's from midnight to like 1 or 2, maybe 1, something in that range, where Taj's mother woke up and he came in from outside and gave her a little spook. But, like fooling around kind of thing. Made her knocked over the bottles of beer that were on the counter. Mind you, they were Jehovah's Witnesses. And you think you're gracing the hand of God there, why they would be alcoholics and why this guy would have such a nasty imagination of what he did to his estranged wife afterwards when Taj was missing. And she started getting a little fussy with the accusations thrown at him. And right, he got very mad and did something to her, right? He kidnapped her, raped her, didn't give no consent because what he'd done, and had his 2 kids in the back seat, and what he did would only prove that man of what he is and what he would have done to Taj is, right? Sick man he is. Lo and behold, I wanted to do an interview with him. Had a lady searching the prison system for that guy. And I believe he's out to this day, but wherever he may roam is the question. Hopefully COVID got him and he is now dead. But other than that, that little belt buckle, if there is one, I think that metal detector, oh yes, sirree, would pick something up. Even if he had like some spare change in his pocket. I want to get out there and search so bad. But like I say, my time is just sucks. But once again, this is Taj Narbonne, 1981, missing. Stepfather, I believe, the killer. There is no, oh, he could be. But it's just one of them cases, man, that kind of back in the day was a lousy, poor, search. Of course, things have been discarded since. Things come up missing, or they're just, lazy, don't care, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sure Detective Aubuchon is fully, the one who can do this case up if he gets that search going. I'd like to set him up, put him up to that, and make it known right now. I mean, I threw up a video a while back, and, he commented on it because I thought he retired completely. I didn't know he was, had another profession. But I would like to just challenge him to that search. Get it done, my man. Because if he had any spare change or a belt buckle, man, I'm damn sure a metal detector's gonna find that. But yep, I like to keep this one going because it's close to home, folks. Very close to home. And if this was a serial killer thing, 1982, a year later, I think I would have been swooped up, or any kid would have been swooped up at that time. The fingers all pointed as POS, Mr. Dean, which I'm ashamed that his name is Dean, insulting a pure, true actor like James Dean. That's right. Made a name, scarring for life, and it's sick. But what can you do? People have cruel, sick, insane intentions, and this man was one of them. But, like I said, for them to let him, just walk on this earth, don't get me wrong, other things led him to his demise. And of course, he had to play the mental patient, which everybody pleads the fifth of insanity to get out of stuff. And that's exactly what that man did. Because he made it to Bridgewater. Too bad if he's still alive. Someone like the boogeyman knows who he is. Will just take care of him in a vigilante justice system ring, and we'll all be happy. It won't bring Taj Narbonne back, but it would be definitely nice to know that he's not walking this earth no more, because it's just sick. People like this just continue to walk, because of his time and what he has done, and, did what he did to Taj's mother, just Jesus, man. Why do these people even breathe? I don't know. Anyways, always be safe, always take care, always be aware of your surroundings. People like this, to this day, still exist. And I'll tell you, it seems to me that the children population is, really getting to be a nuisance, and people are taking care of that nuisance in their own way. It's not about discipline no more. It's about just get rid of that. And man, it's sick. People need to be put into a very high educated class of parenting. This should be a class of its own in the schools, whether or not it's in the college preparing teenagers. But teenagers have that dirty little thought. You're not going to get it out of no one's head, but at least give them, the opportunity to learn about kids, especially when kids go into, pre-made families. You always get someone's selfishness because they need another mate, partner, and your kid is not, in the mix of this because you're thinking of your own needs. And when someone like Clarence Dean arrives, oh yeah, calling him the White King. Whatever this guy did not like about Taj is beyond me. Whether it's his good boyish looks, his big deep blue eyes, man, just, sick. I wish I could do what Clarence Dean did to Taj. And he horrified that boy. Mind you, scared of the dark. And that's the main thing about this. Taj was afraid of the dark. And yet he got up in the middle of the night, left a note, and left. Ooh, ah. I don't know, folks. Take it as it is. Still a very intriguing story and very mysteriously stuck in the back of my head. Just like every other case out there, man. That's strange and bizarre. I wish everybody could be found. Everybody could be thrown the hand of justice at. But will it happen? Yeah, just like the Metallica album, Justice for All. Justice is lost, justice is raped, justice is adored. Pulling your strings, justice is done. Meaning that the justice system is broke. But, see what happens. Once I get that day, I'm heading out with my metal detector. That's right. Till the next video, folks. Oh, if I can shut this off.